Welcome. My name is Debbie and this is Pouring My Art Out for the Lord. And I have a really neat project for you today. We're going to make these tabbed hidden paper clips. And they have a tab on them so you can use them as tabs in your journal, but they're movable because they have a paper clip. They're based on a paper clip. So I have mine with little dangles on the side. You can do it with or without, but I think those are really fun. This one is a ladybug and a little dragonfly. So you can use them on the side of a journal. You can put them on the top of your journal. So you can have tabs coming off of the top, like so. Yeah, and you can just, make a bunch of generic kind of ones and then use them in any journal that you want. So this is a design team project for the Junk Journal Studio, and they have just released a new kit called, not this, that's the add-on kit. Here's the original one. The original kit is the Botanical Collage and Cluster Mega Pack. And this is the base kit. It's green and neutral. And then she's also added, has another one called the yellow, the same name, and it's a yellow add-on kit. And this one is 40 some pages and this is 30 some pages. They're huge kits. And she's coming out with, I believe, a red add-on kit next. So that'll be fabulous too. So I've got these two kits. I'm mostly working with the original base kit. And I'm also going to use some freebies. So I want you to stay tuned for that, and I'll tell you how to get the freebies. Now this paper clip is not my idea. About a year and a half ago, Sparkbird Studio came up with this really neat folded hidden paper clip, and she's made different versions of it since then, and lots of people have kind of, taken the idea and made their own twist with it. I even have on my coffee shop, I have some patterns that you can just print out and then make your own hidden paper clips. They have different images and stuff on them. I'll see if I can remember. I'll link those below. And but this particular version with the tab, and this one also has a little pocket at the back, which is really adorable. So there's a little pocket there. These are just some of the little tags from the Junk Journal Studio kit. And the tab, and I got this idea from the Friendly Quail, and she kind of referred to another video that she got the idea, and kind of on and on and on. So but this is the one that I kind of recently saw and decided to kind of make these based on that. So it's kind of neat in this community. You watch something, you're inspired, you kind of put it together with something else that you've done and come up with your own little twist, and it just keeps twisting and twisting, and sometimes it's hard to trace it back to the original idea. So I'm going to show you how to make these paper clips. So what I'm going to use is a couple of pages from the Junk Journal Studio, and I'm going to show you how to get these pages for free in a little bit. But what I'm going to do is use these for my paperclip base. Well, I'm going to use this for the tab and this for the paperclip base, actually. Maybe I'll make one of each. So what I want is a strip that is 1.5 inches wide. So I'm just going to cut 1.5 inches wide, and I'll make one with this as well. 1.5 inches wide. And then I'm also going to need a tab for each of these. So I'm just going to punch out a tab from each of these with this is my whale tail tab punch. But you could use any punch that you have, or even make your own tabs, or you can just leave the tabs off altogether. Lots of different options. This is kind of a hard one to find, although I think there's a newer version, this one is Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up didn't make a newer version, but I think there's another version that you can get I've seen floating around the internet. So then these we actually have to trim down to 7.5 inches. So these are 1.5 inches, and I'm going to trim them down to 7.5 inches. And you can just put that in your scrap bin if you like, or in the rubbish bin if you like. And then this particular paper, I only printed one-sided, which is what you only need one-sided for this particular project. And then from one end, doesn't really matter which one, you want to make a score at 2 5/8. So that's just one little tick after the 2.5. And I'll do them both together here. And then I'm going to grab a paper clip, two paper clips. These ones are the 2-inch paper clips. So yeah, pretty much just shy of 2 inches perhaps. So what we want to do is we want to fold this paper at the score where we just folded, and there's a short end and a long end, and on the short end we want to put the long part of the paper clip like that, and this is the short end of the paper clip. And then we just want to fold this paper up just so that we're using the paper clip as a fold guide. So we just fold it up to the end of that paper clip, try to line the outside edges. We'll work on that again at the end, or the next step actually. So we folded this up at the bottom of the paper clip, then we fold it down on top of that paper clip, and then we fold this one up where that paper clip is as well. So because the paper clip is in there, sometimes it gets a little bit wonky. So I'm going to take the paper clip off now, and then I'm just going to line up, you know, kind of side to side, make sure that, you know, I have those side to side nicely, and then I'm going to make my final scores here. So I'm using some lightweight cardstock. You could use paper. I think lightweight cardstock probably works maybe a little bit better. Okay, so then, let me just think for a minute. So then there's this little short end, and that is going to be our pocket. And you can round corners or not, it's up to you. I'm going to use my 1/4 inch corner rounder on here, and I'm not going to round the very top of this pocket, but I'm going to round all of the other edges. So I'm just going to fold over, because my corner rounder will easily do 2 thicknesses of cardstock at once. Just going to double it over and punch each set of... There's another way to do this. I'll show you a different way on the next one, because I don't think I did it this way the first time. And this one at the bottom. The other way is a little bit simpler to think about. So basically I've rounded all of these places where the fold is, except for the end, this end, but not this end. Okay, and then we take our paper clip again, and we want to fold with the pattern side in, facing in, and we want on one side the short side, which is what we started with, and the long side. So we have this and then the little pocket there, and we put the big part of our paper clip like that. That's how it was initially. And then we fold this up, over, get that fold off a tiny bit, and then up like that. And that is basically our paper clip. There's our pocket, and this will be our design on the other side. So I got this just off a little bit. Let me just see what I have going on here. Yeah, I think I have that off a little bit, and that's where the other way of rounding the corners probably would work a little bit better. So I'll show you that next. So I'm just going to trim these off just a touch. Okay, so there will be our paper clip. So I'm just going to ink the edges here. So I'm going to just ink around that edge, this edge, all the way around. Then I'm going to ink at the top of this pocket, and then I'm going to ink, shouldn't have probably put this on yet, and then I'm going to ink at the bottom of this edge here. So then when we have this all folded up, we'll have this bottom, the whole thing inked, plus this bottom, plus this top. I'll do another one in a minute because I think I'm confusing even myself this time. And this is actually not the way I first did it, so this will be our practice one. So then we can open it up again, and again put your paper so that you've got your tiny pocket, and then this, put the large part of the paper clip on the front like that. Turn it over, then put some glue onto the small part of the paper clip, onto the paper surrounding that, and fold that up, and just hold it for a minute until your glue kind of grabs. And then glue it on the big paper clip side here. Actually put the glue onto this part, because then it won't come down as far. I'm making every mistake possible on this one, so you can see what I'm doing. The next one I'll do. I haven't made these for a couple of days. Okay, glue that down, and then on this side we want to just glue the two edges of the pocket and flip that up like that. And that is basically our paper clip. You might want to take your ink and just, you know, sometimes after you get your paper clip and all the folds, it'll just have a tiny bit of white showing on the edges, so you can just top that off a little bit. So I'm just going to let that one dry for a second, and I'm going to show you how I did the other ones, and it'll probably make a little bit better sense. So we have our 1.5 by 7.5 inch strip. We scored it at 2 5/8 from one end. We fold on that score with the pattern side facing in. On the short side here, we put our paper clip with the long side of the paper clip facing out, and this is a 2-inch paper clip. Then we flip it over to the small side paper clip, and we flip this up, lining up the side edges. Then we flip the whole thing over, and we flip it down over the top of this paper clip. Again, lining up your edges. And then you flip up the bottom, over top of the bottom of that large paper clip, and there is our folds. Okay, so then you can take the paper clip out and fold it back the way that you had it. Okay, so you have your little two folded edges on one side, and you have your little pocket on the other side. Just kind of hold it as a package, and then round all 4 corners. And then if you turn it over, you don't have to do this, but I like to round this one too. So this is the flap. There's 2 folded edges. Pick up the top flap and round that one on both sides. And that's it. That's all the rounding that you need to do. And then I'll take my ink and I'll just do all the way around on both sides. I didn't put the paper clip in this time. And then I'll flip out my pocket and just ink on the top of that one. Flip it over, and I've got just this little flap, and I'm going to just put a little bit of ink there. That's all the places that you need ink. Yeah, it's easier to do it that way. So now we've got our whole package done. Now we have to put our paper clip back in. So we open this up, we flip this over so that we have our piece here and our little pocket here, and we put our paper clip on here, so the large part of the paper clip is just over top of this pocket. What I didn't actually do, I didn't think I really had to this time, but what you probably want to do is when you get it folded up, before you put your paper clip and when you ink it. Just make sure that all of these edges are really nice and lined up, and then give it a couple of creases. So that's probably better to do it there. Then again, open it up so you have your large piece in your little pocket, and put your paper clip on there. Turn it over so you have your small part of the paper clip here. Put some glue on here. And flip that over. Hold it for a couple of seconds. Make sure these are lined up side to side. If it's not completely side to side, you'll have a little bit of white showing, and you just trim that off. It's not a big deal. Flip it over. Put some glue on the top part here. And fold that over your paper clip. I just hold it on the outside. I don't press so much on the inside. If you press on the inside, you'll probably get an impression of your paper clip, which kind of, you know, maybe makes it look not ideal on the outside. And then you want to glue up the pocket, and you just put a little bit of glue on each side like that, and flip up your pocket. This is just a teeny tiny pocket. Okay. And there is your paper clip again. So same thing as this one. I think this way, this is how I made it before, you know, just slightly different. You'll find your own way. If you make a few of them, you'll find your own way to do it. The easiest way that is for you. Then I'm going to take my tabs and just fold them in half. And I will ink those. I'm just using ground espresso distress oxide for this, just because I had it handy. I would have probably used vintage photo if I thought about it for a second, but this works fine too. So just glue, ink the tab on both sides like that. And then this is the top of your paper clip. This is where the paper clip attaches to your paper. So it'll go onto your paper like that, right there. So this will be the top, which is where we want our tab. So I'm going to glue this one onto here. So I'll just glue on the bottom part. And these are made to the size where this tab just fits perfectly on here. If you have a different size tab, you may want to make your paper clip a little bit wider. Instead of 1.5 inches, you can make it as wide as you like. I'm actually going to make some more larger ones with just a tab that I make with my envelope punch board, because I thought that might be kind of cool to do like a longer one. So if anyone is interested, once I figure that out, I can do another video for that. So there's our tab. Then I'm going to put a tab on the other one. Like that. It might seem a little bit, you know, kind of a lot of steps or something just the very first time. I'm taking my time to explain it just so that nobody is confused, but once you make a couple, really they're very, very simple to make. So there's my 2 paper clips. Then I'm going to do a little bit of decorating on them. And I have mostly the base kit, so the Botanical Collage and Cluster Mega Pack base kit, green and neutral, but there's a little bit of the yellow add-on as well in here. And I found that these size of octagons, are they 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, octagons. These size of octagon shapes fit on here perfectly. So I thought this would be a great use for them. So I'll just cut one of these green ones out. I'm not sure how green is going to look on here. Let's see. I think it looks fabulous. So you could, you know, also do kind of a layering. You could put another label at the underneath this, but I think it looks just perfect with one of these labels on here like this. Okay, so I'll just hold that on for a second. And then on the other side we have a little pocket, and we can put a little bit of a label at the bottom here. This one is too long just like that, but I could just cut it off like there and then glue that on to the very bottom pocket if you want. And then you can take a couple of labels or just some of the, there's some of these really small kind of tea cards. Here's a little bird one. That might be kind of cute. I don't know if this one will be too big. You know, that one will fit really perfectly there, I think. Just ink the edges of that one a tiny bit. And stick that in the pocket. And then you kind of have a surprise on the other side of the paper clip, and then there's the front of it. So then if you put it in your journal, it's like that on that side, and you got your pocket on the other side. And then when you put it in your journal, on your page, and you close your journal, then you have your tab poking out. So I think they're just, it's so cute. You know, you have your tab, you have your paper clip, you have your pocket, and you can also put a little dangle on. So I'm just going to put a dangle here. I'm just going to punch with my crocodile. You can put it in the center, you can put it on the side of the tab. So I'm just going to put an eyelet in there. And then I'm just going to sneak one of my dangles from here, so I don't have to go looking for one, because I neglected to find one before I did this. And I just have a bulb pin and a little charm. This is a dragonfly charm. So isn't that cute? And then if you put it on the side of your book, then you have this little dangle there as well. You can also put them at the top and put a ribbon on the top for just a little bit more on the tab. And then on the back, I'd probably ink the back of that or whatever. And you have your little thing in your pocket. So very, very cute. So let's just finish decorating this other one here. So I also have, maybe I'll use that one for here. This one, I believe, was from the yellow add-on kit. They're basically the same, except they're different colors. And that one really goes nicely with that one. When I said you could do the hole on the side, if you just do it at the bottom here, then you have your dangle kind of coming off the bottom instead of off the middle. It works either way. So this one would work well on the side, and you have your dangle coming down there. Just grab another one of these. This is just a key on this one, on a bulb pin. So then you have your dangle there in your journal. I'll just put it on this little card here. So there's your page of your journal, just coming off like that. And then we can stick something in our pocket. Any of these, you know, there's lots of little labels and just little tidbits of whatever, different things in here. So you can just pick whatever you like. Put a couple of things in there, and just so cute. So there are our little hidden paperclip tabbed, hidden paperclip tabs with Dangle. And this is again from the Junk Journal Studio. And now I was going to tell you that I told you about these kits, and these pages, there are 6 pages. There's 3 pages that have this image and 3 pages that have this image, but they're different tones. So these are the 2 darker ones, I think. Whereas maybe this is the light one. I think this might be the light one and this is the darker one. So there'll be one of these a little bit darker and one of these a little bit lighter. And then there's also a green version. So there's 6 pages. I'll link below where you can pick those up on the Junk Journal Studio coffee shop. So you can print out these pages and use these bits and pieces from the kits that perfectly coordinate if you like, or you can also use whatever you have on hand. And again, it's the Botanical Collage and Cluster Mega Pack Base Kit, green and neutral. That's 40 some pages. And the Botanical Collage and Cluster Mega Pack Yellow Add-on. And Michelle at the Junk Journal Studio is making a couple more add-ons. I know she's working on red next, and I think she's even working on a couple more. So there'll be lots and lots of different things that you can make. And these are generic enough that you could use them in lots of different journals. So botanical journals, you know, different colors. That's what I love about these pages is they're very neutral. You can use them in lots of different things. So go grab the freebies, go check out the Junk Journal Studio kits, and make yourself some beautiful paper clips tabs for your next journal. Blessings. See you in the next video.